are using supercapacitors for a very specific role: power regeneration systems during deceleration. In other words, when cars are slowing, the energy generated from that action is stored by supercapacitors on board and later used for acceleration, saving batteries for less strenuous actions. It's taking advantage of the supercapacitor's superior power throughput. A fantastic example of how effective supercapacitors can be is range switching, where a fleet of buses will be exposed to charging stations at a variety of stops along their route. Just 15 seconds can top the energy charge off, and only a few minutes would be needed to give it a full charge from the building. With frequent top-offs, it makes up for the lack of energy density in storage. And because supercapacitors can draw lower current over a period of a few minutes at a time, this puts less stress on the grid. However, supercapacitors still can't compete with lithium-ion batteries when it comes to that high specific energy and long-term energy storage. But despite that, some companies are making progress on projects that are poised to make supercapacitors more universally applicable. You may have watched my recent videos on graphene and carbon nanotubes. Well, those materials are actually playing a role in the future of supercapacitors.
and I would compare with something like the Agano class, or no, not really the Oyodo class, but some of the larger Italian-like cruisers, the condottieri, some of the large condottieri, some of the French ships, maybe the Königsbergs. I'd compare it with those. I wouldn't compare it with the big 10,000 tonners, and so on and so forth. So it's perfectly possible for you to look at a ship and go, oh yes, but I think you're singing its praises a bit too much because this ship was considerably better than it. Very possibly true. But was that ship designed for the same paradigm as the ship I'm talking about? And that applies across the board to everything, whether that be American, Japanese, Italian, Russian, Norwegian, British, etc. Because if they're designed...
Okay, even though she may have watered down her policy or stance to the extent of not pulling. What does another Macron presidency mean for France, given his track record already?
But I knew I could be a pioneer.
Alright then, my lovelies! Look at this absolutely spanking box that I made. Hey? Whilst I was at college, I had a job in a timber shop, earning my beer money, and I used to stack the shelves or whatever, and I messed around with these flush bolts, we sold these flush bolts, isn't it? Much bigger, nicer quality versions. Yeah, big 6-inch jobbies for French doors. And I thought to myself, you know, one day I'm going to make a nice box and use these flush bolts as the latches on my box. And here we are. I've finally done it. What? I don't know. Must be like 16 years later. Yeah. Unfortunately. No, it's more than that. Oh well. So here's the box. We haven't got the shaper in here at the minute. Let me just open her up and grab the shaper. There we go. It's got a little seat, eh? And there's a little notched out bit of wood in there to locate it all. So I was planning on making some drawers, but I don't think I would have had space for drawers underneath this. It goes in there, sits in there. It's safe. It's safe from all the grinding dust and anything else nasty that's floating around in here. There we go. Treasure chest. I mean, in case you hadn't noticed, I do like my shaper. Yeah, it's good. Just rope handles there. Bit of an experiment with those wedges I drove up into the rope. It seems to be holding. And what else? Yeah, I think I need a handle on it, you know. But I put a couple of brass pins to secure this. It's got jams at the back of it. It's got stops, you know, a strip of wood to stop against. But obviously it needs something to stop it coming open. So the brass pins are there, and there's a couple of holes up there. Maybe they could have done with little brass plates around them. That would have been nice, perhaps. But you know, same reason I didn't build any drawers for the tools. I'm not entirely sure what I want yet, and also it's got the dust kept off it now, so I'm kind of happy for the minute. I'll build a little box for a little drawer for the tools at a later date. Oh, I was really tempted to stain this oak. Right, it's one of those things because brass looks a lot nicer with darker timber, but I like oak, so as you can probably guess, I didn't. And I you know, using fence posts and that, you get a tremendous contrast in the different colours of the oak because they're not at all careful about what part of the timber they turn into posts. So you got the, you know, the nice creamy light stuff and the darker wood, and there's, you know, some really dark. I mean, this is where it's starting to rot. These is either where it's starting to rot. I think it's where it's starting to rot, but or it's really close to the edge. But there's some nice dark brown flecks there as well. Yeah, some bit of tiger striping there because it's not sawn straight down the trunk, or the tree's gone off at a weird angle and they've just sawn straight. So you get some exciting stuff. It's not great because it, you know, it does have a tendency to banana, but like I got these fence posts a few years ago now, and they've been stuck in the top of the container or floating around in here. So they've dried out, they've bent a lot, and then I ripped them up into planks with the bandsaw, which I'm enjoying, by the way. It's not great. I've had more problems with it, but we'll get onto that another day. So yeah, I make sure once I rip the posts up, I leave them. So I actually cut the planks for this a week before I started building the box, just so they got time to move around a little bit more if they want to, and then it goes through the planer, so that hopefully if they have moved around even more. But like I say, there's no guarantee that they won't carry on doing banana-y stuff. Now that I've put it into the box, especially if it gets damp in here, which is why I gave it 3 coats of that. What we calling it? Danish oil, which I love that stuff. Danish oil does put a lovely finish on your timber. A very lovely finish with very little effort, and it came out of the gun beautifully. Spraying it was definitely a good idea. Went on very quickly, and yeah, probably shouldn't do this one-handed. Went on very quickly. Nice. uninterrupted bit at the back there. That's quite clear timber till we get down here. It's all over the place, isn't it? Those boards shouldn't move because, I mean, they're held quite securely. What was the other thing? Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm loving this foaming glue. So when I have my little mishaps, so that we look closely. there's a few little gappy gaps here and there, and this foaming glue kind of makes all your sins disappear. Yes, in the corners where I've been struggling. I could have chiseled them out square. In the long run, it would have taken less time, but I actually quite like the rounded corners for the panel inlay. The other thing, the first time I really used this little trimming router. It's only a really cheap one. My mate fits a few kitchens every now and again, and he said he'd got one of these, and I was ready to take the piss out of him because, you know, I've always thought as far as routers are concerned, you want to go bigger and bigger and bigger, and I killed a 1/4 inch router a little while ago, well, years ago now, and so I got myself a big 1/2 inch router, and I like just ploughing through timber, but I got that cheapest one I could find just because I wanted to see if I was going to use it really before I bought a decent one, and I was really impressed with it. This one's shit, as you can expect with the cheapest one you buy, because this guard likes to travel up and down. It's done up as tight as I can, and I know it's going to break pretty soon because it's not that stout, but when it does, I'm guessing the router itself will be fine. Find something for that and buy a Bosch. It's kind of my default. You know, once I've convinced myself that I'm going to use a tool, I just go to Bosch, I suppose. Yeah, so if you haven't tried a little router like that, I think this cost about 20 quid. Unfortunately, I gave away all my 1/4 inch bits to someone because, like I say, I went 1/2 inch and then got this, and without thinking, meant I had to buy a new set of router bits. This isn't the end of the world. They're not that expensive, and if I get another little trimmer, then that will obviously be a 1/4 inch as well. But yeah, it was really handy for doing, well, everything on this box really. I never once thought, you know, I haven't got enough power here. And yeah, and the little router like that is 101 ways you can use it really. You can grip your workpiece to the bench and just use it like you would a big router, although it's half the size and weight, probably a 1/4 of the size and weight of my big 1/2 inch router. So it doesn't have the tendency to want to tilt off your work, but also just doing little bits like I put bevels on the little seat the shaper sits on. I put bevels on all that timber, you know, and I just held the router on the edge of the workbench like that, and took the timber across it with my other hand. It's, you know, worked quite nicely. It's really versatile, really a lot more useful than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. Anyway, that's my lovely box. I suppose I should get on with something constructive now. Oh, there's a train coming, folks. Alright, I'm going to sign off. Take care, folks. Oh, a little bit of glue. Fucking trains. I'll see you all later. Bye bye.